Welcome to Brewtok, the channel where beans spill secrets, cups come with consequences, and your morning routine just got a little more suspicious. Today's topic? Oh, it's juicy, or should I say steamy. Because we're about to ask one question that might ruin your 3 p.m. pick-me-up forever. Is coffee quietly sabotaging your sleep? And more importantly, are you sleeping with the enemy? We've all heard the warnings. But let's dig deeper. This isn't just about whether you fall asleep, but what happens after you close your eyes. Your dreams, your deep sleep, your future productivity, mood, weight, focus, and yes, even your dreams about fighting a raccoon for a croissant. So grab your favorite mug, fill it with something decaf or not, no judgment, and let's dive into Coffee V's. Because someone is, and spoiler alert, it might not be you. Let's set the scene. You wake up groggy. Hair's doing a thing, emails are yelling, and there it is, your savior. Coffee, you sip, you sigh, you feel human again. But what actually just happened in your body? 0, the sip. Caffeine enters through your mouth, travels down your throat, and starts to get absorbed almost immediately through the lining of your stomach and small intestine. 0:15, 0:45, the absorption party begins. Within about 15 minutes, caffeine starts to hit your bloodstream. By 45 minutes, you're at peak caffeine levels, ready to argue with coworkers, solve calculus, or alphabetize your spice rack. So how does it work? Caffeine is a master of disguise. It tricks your brain by pretending to be a chemical called adenosine. Adenosine is like the brain's sleepy messenger. It builds up throughout the day, whispering, "Hey, you're tired." Caffeine, being a bit of a diva, blocks adenosine from doing its thing. You don't actually get energy from coffee, you just stop feeling tired. And your brain starts firing more dopamine and adrenaline instead. Fun, right? 30, the half-life horror show. Here's where it gets tricky. Caffeine's half-life is about 5 to 6 hours. That means if you drink a cup at 2 p.m., half of it could still be floating around your bloodstream at 8 p.m. and a quarter at midnight. Translation, you're trying to sleep with a full espresso shot doing jumping jacks in your central nervous system. Why does this matter? Because even if you fall asleep, caffeine can mess with how you sleep. Which leads us to, you've probably heard of REM sleep. No, not the band. We're talking about rapid eye movement sleep, the dreamy stage where your brain throws weird parties, files memories, and cleans emotional chaos. But what is REM really? Think of your night's sleep like a theater play broken into acts. There's light sleep, deep sleep, and then REM. REM is where your brain takes all the messy stuff you learned or felt that day and puts it into neat little folders. Now here's the caffeine twist. Caffeine doesn't just make it hard to fall asleep, it slashes your REM time. You might sleep for 7 hours. But if caffeine is still dancing in your system, your brain skips some of the REM stages, which means you wake up feeling foggy. Your emotions stay half-digested. Your memory and learning take a hit. You're irritable and snacky all day. But wait, I sleep fine after coffee. Sure, you might fall asleep, but that doesn't mean you're getting quality sleep. Think of it like going to the gym but never doing leg day. Eventually, it catches up to you. Study time. A 2013 study found that even caffeine consumed 6 hours before bedtime reduced total sleep by more than 1 hour. And guess what got slashed the most? Yep, REM. Here's another fun fact. Your body remembers caffeine the next night too. Even if you sleep great tonight, yesterday's late latte might still mess with your circadian rhythm, your internal body clock. Which brings us to the next question. So you love coffee. Americano, M's. Maybe even a cheeky decaf after dinner, which, let's be real, sometimes isn't actually decaf. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Caffeine has a half-life of 5 to 7 hours. And it's not wearing slippers. Let's break that down. You still have 100 mg left. At midnight, about 50 mg. That's the same as a small espresso shot buzzing around while you're trying to dream about flying elephants. You might fall asleep. But deep sleep and REM, they get downgraded to economy class. M even better, M if you're extra sensitive or struggle with sleep. Yeah, that's harsh. But it could mean the difference between waking up rested or waking up wondering why you feel like a stale croissant. Some people metabolize caffeine faster thanks to genetics. But if you've ever tossed in bed after a late cup, had restless dreams, woken up feeling like you barely slept, then yep, caffeine is likely the sneaky thief in the night. What about decaf? Sure, decaf sounds innocent, but it still has 315 mg of caffeine per cup. And if you're guzzling 3 cups of decaf during Netflix hours, that adds up. Especially if you're caffeine sensitive or just unlucky enough to be a slow metabolizer. Thanks, genes. Late riser, shift worker, sleep schedule all over the place, even more reason to time your coffee wisely. M. It messes with your sleep stages regardless. Your best bet, cut coffee 8-10 hours before your regular bedtime. Hydrate more instead. Try switching to herbal tea or just accepting your fate. We know. If you think you've built up a tolerance, you might be right. But here's the catch. You're still not getting the sleep your body needs. You've just gotten used to running on 60% battery. That's not tolerance. That's survival mode. Want to sleep like a peaceful, well-loved cat? Treat caffeine like the brilliant, dangerous friend it is, fun in the morning, terrible after lunch. So you've had your coffee, you're awake, you're alert, you're twitching, let's talk about it. When you sip that glorious cup of brew, here's what happens behind the scenes. Caffeine blocks adenosine, a chemical that builds up throughout the day and makes you sleepy. Your brain says, wow, no sleep signals. You feel more focused, energized, alert. But here's the twist. Blocking adenosine doesn't make it go away. It's still building up, quietly stacking like Tetris blocks. And when the caffeine wears off, boom, caffeine crash. Suddenly, all that pent-up adenosine floods in and smacks you like a wet sock. Caffeine activates your sympathetic nervous system, the same one responsible for heart-pounding anxiety, racing thoughts, sweaty palms, that feeling like you need to run from a bear, even if you're just checking email. It's the ultimate survival mode. But here's the problem. If you live in that state all day, you burn out fast. If you've ever noticed your heart thudding after a strong espresso, that's not love. It's caffeine-induced tachycardia. Basically, coffee hits the gas pedal on your nervous system. In healthy doses, it's fine. Here's the kicker. If you already struggle with anxiety, caffeine can amplify your symptoms. More worries, restless sleep, racing heart, hyperawareness. It doesn't cause anxiety, but it's like giving a megaphone to the little voice in your head that already thinks you're in trouble, and then you're Googling your symptoms again. Yes, in moderation, caffeine can improve concentration, especially when you're tired. That's why coffee and studying are best friends. It increases dopamine activity, the feel-good neurotransmitter that helps with attention and motivation. But like any good tool, too much of it becomes a liability. Too many cups equals overstimulation equals brain fog, not clarity. How to balance it? Start slow in the morning. Your cortisol, natural alertness hormone, is already high. Don't overdo it. Hydrate first, caffeinate second. Avoid back-to-back-to-back cups. Wait 90-120 minutes between refills. Take note of how you feel. Jittery, restless, it's not weakness, it's your nervous system waving a red flag. Caffeine is a performance enhancer, not a personality replacement. Treat it with respect and it will help you win the day. M. Wondering if your toaster is judging you? You're tired, you pour coffee, you feel better, you stay up late, you wake up tired again. So you pour another coffee. Welcome to the caffeine sleep paradox, where the thing you drink to feel awake keeps stealing the thing that makes you feel human. Let's break it down. REM sleep, rapid eye movement, is when your brain goes into dreamland. It processes emotions, stores memories, repairs mental wear and tear, solves weird problems in weird dreams. Think of it like your brain's nightly therapy session, plus a splash of surreal movie magic. Now guess what caffeine does? Yep, it shortens REM, delays it, sometimes kicks it off the nightly playlist altogether. How long does caffeine last in your body? Spoiler, way longer than you think. The average half-life of caffeine is about 5 to 7 hours. It's like telling your brain, go to sleep, while also blasting techno music through the walls. Even if you fall asleep, your sleep quality is quietly suffering. Even one late afternoon latte can cause light, restless sleep, tossing and turning, vivid or disturbing dreams, waking up feeling like you didn't sleep at all, cravings for more caffeine in the morning, which creates a, you guessed it, feedback loop. You can't sleep well because of caffeine, so you drink more caffeine to survive the day, and repeat. Problem is, your brain actually needs adenosine to reach deep, restorative sleep. Most experts recommend stopping caffeine intake 6-8 hours before bedtime, at the latest. That one rule alone can massively upgrade your sleep quality. And better sleep equals more energy naturally equals less need for coffee equals actual freedom. Person male. Caffeine-free doesn't mean joy-free. Cutting caffeine at the right time doesn't mean cutting happiness. Try decaf in the evening. Yes, it's not the same, but it's still warm and cozy. Herbal teas like rooibos, chamomile, or peppermint. Or stay with me, just a cup of hot water with lemon. The ritual of a warm drink is often what we crave, not just the caffeine buzz. You don't have to quit coffee, but you do need to respect its power. Think of it like this: coffee helps you climb mountains, but sleep is what fills your lungs with air before the climb. No amount of espresso can replace the magic of real, restful sleep. So protect your REM cycles. Let your dreams roll uninterrupted. Your brain and your alarm clock will thank you. Let's talk about the biggest fraud of the coffee world, decaf. Or at least that's the reputation it's been unfairly saddled with. Some people swear it's a safe alternative for sleep. Others whisper that it's a placebo with flavor. And then there are those who claim decaf still has caffeine. So is decaf just coffee pretending to be coffee, or is it an unsung hero that deserves your trust? Let's investigate. Decaf coffee starts out just like regular coffee with full caffeine beans. Then it's processed to remove at least 97% of the caffeine. But here's the kicker. Most decaf coffee still contains 25 mg of caffeine per cup. That's way less than the 95 mg in a regular cup, but if you drink 4 decafs before bed thinking it's 0, you might still feel the tingle. Ceiling staring. How do they decaffeinate coffee? Good question. There are 4 main methods. Direct solvent method uses chemicals like methylene chloride or ethyl acetate to wash away the caffeine. Indirect solvent method, same chemicals but filtered out before the beans return to the solution. Swiss water process, no chemicals. Uses water, temperature, and time to remove caffeine. Most organic decaf comes from this method. CO2 process uses pressurized carbon dioxide. Super science-wise, super clean. Bottom line, modern decaf isn't a chemical cocktail. It's pretty safe and more natural than people think. But does it taste like real coffee? Here's the honest truth. No decaf coffee tastes 100% identical to its caffeinated sibling. Why? Because caffeine molecules are part of the flavor. When you remove them, you change the chemistry. But with good beans and the right process, many high-quality decafs come very close. Pro tip, if you hate decaf, you might just be drinking bad decaf. Yes, it exists. So is decaf the sleep saver we've been waiting for? Then yes, decaf is your friend. It gives you the ritual, the warmth, the comfort, without nuking your REM cycles. Just remember, it's low caffeine, not no caffeine. But wait, can you get addicted to decaf? Technically, no. Caffeine addiction comes from repeated stimulation of the central nervous system. Decaf doesn't do that. But can you become psychologically addicted to the ritual of coffee? Absolutely, the mug, the warmth, the AM moment, all of that builds habit, and habits are powerful. So decaf might not hook your nervous system, but it can still grab your heart. Decaf coffee is not a scam, it's misunderstood. It's like that introvert at the party who doesn't shout, but listens, supports, and helps you calm down when the music's too loud. It's not here to replace your morning ritual. It's here to extend it into the evening, guilt-free. So the next time you see someone sipping decaf and someone else scoffing, know that the truth is somewhere in between, with a soft yawn and a cozy mug. Okay, you love coffee, but you also love sleep. And right now, the two are frenemies. You wake up groggy, so you drink coffee. You drink coffee late, so you sleep poorly. You sleep poorly, so you wake up groggy again. Welcome to the caffeine insomnia hamster wheel. Let's help you get off it without giving up your sacred brew. Golden Rule 1: Know your caffeine cutoff time. Caffeine has a half-life of 5 to 6 hours. Is the safe cutoff. Night owls might squeeze in a cup till 3. Super sensitive folks, noon max, last sip. Golden Rule 2: Don't nap block yourself. Ever drink coffee mid-afternoon and then wonder why your power nap turns into 45 minutes of lying there with your eyes open? That's caffeine at work. If you rely on short naps for energy, make sure your coffee is long gone by nap time. Drink a small cup of coffee, then immediately take a 15-20 minute nap. Caffeine kicks in just as you wake up. You feel like a superhuman, weird, but it works. Golden Rule 3: Dose matters, sip smart. Not all coffee is created equal. Espresso 1 Oz. Drip coffee 8 Oz. 120 mg. Cold brew 12 Oz. 200 mg. Energy drinks chaos. A medium Starbucks coffee, over 300 mg. That's like 3 espressos in one sitting. If sleep matters, aim for no more than 300-400 mg of caffeine per day. And spread it out, don't chug it all at once like you're training for the caffeine Olympics. Golden Rule 4: Beware of sneaky sources. Caffeine isn't just in coffee. It's in black and green tea, chocolate, soda, energy drinks, pre-workout powders, some painkillers. If you're skipping coffee after lunch but still having chocolate ice cream and tea after dinner, surprise, you're caffeinating yourself to bed. Check labels, know your triggers. Golden Rule 5: Switch to half-calf or decaf strategically. Don't go cold turkey, that's a headache, literally. Instead, try half-calf in the afternoon. Or decaf in the evening if you're craving the ritual. Bonus: it helps your body recalibrate so your morning cup hits extra right. You'll appreciate caffeine more and sleep better. Golden Rule 6: Respect the wind-down window. Want quality sleep? Start landing the plane at least 90 minutes before bed. No screens, no stressful news, and definitely no caffeine. Make it sacred: tea, warm lights, slow music, reading. Not triple shot espresso and TikTok doom scrolling. Your brain needs quiet to make melatonin, the sleep hormone. Caffeine shuts melatonin down, so be kind to your future self. Wind down with intention. Final thoughts. Coffee doesn't have to be the enemy of sleep. It's not about quitting coffee, it's about timing it right. If you follow these golden rules, you can enjoy your morning ritual. Stay alert and focused. Fall asleep faster. And wake up actually rested. Because when coffee and sleep cooperate, you get the best of both worlds. Regrets, just good mornings and better nights. Let's talk about timing. Because when it comes to coffee and sleep, it's not just how much you drink. It's when you drink it. And here's where science steps in with one of its most underrated buzzwords: half-life. Think of half-life like this. Let's say you drink a cup of coffee at noon, a solid 100 milligrams of caffeine. Your body doesn't just flush it out like water. Nope, it lingers. Caffeine's half-life is about 5 to 6 hours on average. You still have 50 mg swimming around in your bloodstream. Just enough to keep your brain on edge, especially when you're trying to wind down. And that's not even the whole story. Some people, because of genetics, age, liver health, or medications, process caffeine slower. For them, that afternoon latte, still kicking strong at midnight. This is where it comes from. It's not some internet myth. It's based on biology. Even if you fall asleep easily, caffeine can mess with your sleep quality. It delays deep sleep, shortens REM, increases nighttime wake-ups, so yeah, you might sleep. But it's not the recharging, restorative, dream-filled sleep your body actually needs. It's like trying to recharge your phone on a frayed cable. It says 100%, but you know it didn't really charge. Well, maybe, but there's a twist. Studies show that people who say this still have disrupted sleep. They just don't realize it. Their deep sleep time drops. Their brain waves get choppier. And they wake up feeling just a little bit off. So what do? They drink more coffee, and the cycle continues. Welcome to the caffeine loop, don't worry. You don't need to quit coffee entirely. But if sleep is suffering, here's how to adjust without the caffeine heartbreak. Shift to morning-only coffee. Front-load your caffeine so it's gone by bedtime. Go half-caff. You'll still get the taste with less interference. Try green tea or matcha in the afternoon. They have L-theanine, which smooths out the buzz. Hydrate. Dehydration plus caffeine equals nervous system chaos. Experiment. Cut caffeine after noon for 1 week. Track your sleep, see how you feel. You might be surprised by how much better your energy, mood, and mental clarity are. With less coffee, not more, caffeine is a tool. And tools are only powerful when you use them well. Drink it too late and it robs you of the very thing it's supposed to support, your energy. So set a cutoff time, protect your sleep, and remember, if you need caffeine to feel normal, your body's probably asking for more rest, not more coffee. Let's settle it, once and for all, coffee versus sleep, the match of the century. In one corner, your warm, energizing, delicious morning hero. In the other, your sacred, healing, utterly underrated nightly recharge. And the truth, there's no clear winner. Because the real loser is you, if you don't understand how they both work together or against each other. Let's recap. Coffee is not evil. It boosts your mood, improves your focus, may lower risks for diseases. And frankly, it makes life taste better. But sleep is non-negotiable. No amount of coffee can replace real rest. Sleep is where your brain resets, your body heals, and your emotions recalibrate. You can't pour caffeine on burnout and expect it to go away. So the answer isn't coffee or sleep. It's coffee and sleep in balance. Don't overdose. Watch out for sneaky sources. Swap to decaf when needed. Respect your wind down time. And most importantly, listen to your body. If your sleep is off, don't just double your coffee. Ask yourself why. Real energy doesn't come from coffee. It comes from rest, movement, purpose, and presence. Coffee just makes the good days better when it's not stealing your sleep behind the scenes. So who's really winning? You are, when you take back control, when you understand science, when you choose intention over autopilot. Because now you're not just a coffee drinker, you're a conscious coffee commander navigating your brew with sleep in mind. Drink smarter, sleep deeper, live brighter, espresso. Hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for more coffee truths, brain hacks, and feel-good science. We brew facts here fresh, bold, and without the BS. Thanks for listening. Now go drink something responsibly.